Hello Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. I am Katie and this is episode number 18 of Flosstube. This is my channel where I talk about crafty things and the things that I make and do and spend my time on. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you're new here, welcome in, and if you are not new here, welcome back. I'm so glad you're returning to my Flosstube channel. So this is going to be episode number 18 of Flosstube. That's pretty cool. We are already halfway through August. That's kind of crazy. The summer is just whooshing by. It usually does do that. So I'm trying to enjoy it and get my crafting in. And it's been a few weeks since my last update. August is a very busy month for me typically, but I have been working on some things. So let us dive into whips and crafts and all the jolly good fun, and let's dive right in. So I'm calling this a finish because I make the rules. So I have it's technically a finish, right? I finished the second clue for the Arctic Animals Sal from the Frosted Pumpkin. This is the walrus. Ooh. There we go. And, yeah, he is done, all ready to go. And as again, no back stitching just yet. I just haven't felt the need or the value in doing that just yet. So I haven't done any yet, but I have started already on, I'm trying not to cover up my mouth. The reindeer. The third clue is a reindeer / caribou, and I have gotten a little bit done on his little like platform sort of thing that he sits on right above this Arctic fox. So not a ton done on this guy, but that is my little FFN for the walrus. Really pleased with how he turned out. They're all just so adorable. So really enjoying working on this project. I'm getting in a really good groove with it, and really enjoying this. I love seeing the projects everyone else has been working on, and for the walrus specifically, I thought it was hilarious because every time someone posted a finish of their walrus, they always quoted the Beatles song, you know, I am the walrus, or Goo 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 or something like that. So super cute, really funny. And he's just precious. He actually kind of reminds me of one of the characters from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which, if you've seen that movie, made me want to cry. But he looks much happier. So I just love him. And they're just having a little party there on their ice floes. So yeah, that is a finish for now. I'm planning on getting a little more work done on this reindeer in the near future. Okay. That is the closest thing I have to a finish. I do have some stuff that I want to work on to finish my Happy Summer pillow, and I plan on getting that done. Some of the prep steps to get working on that this weekend. So looking forward to that, and that should be finished just in time for Halloween, probably. Okay, so in the time since my last video, I have worked on a few things. And one of them I mentioned in my whip parade that I was not loving working on. And I made myself bring out Vintage Simplicity. And I think this white Ada really makes it blow out. Ugh. So it's there, it's straight. Okay. And I worked on the red lady. It is getting really blown out. Yikes. So I did about 1 thread's length. Oh boy. Okay, bear with me, you guys. I'm trying to get this oriented right. I think I need to flip something. I need to invert something. So it is kind of hard to see, but I filled in more of her arm, and there actually is some white stitching here where her glove is that you cannot see, but I promise there are white stitches right in here. And then I filled in more of the red and coral It's a blend, and it wasn't too bad. I had mentioned before that it was just not pleasant to work on because I had made a I had made a lot of mistakes and it was just stressing me out trying to fudge it. So, but this wasn't too bad. So I did bring it out and work a little bit on it. I finished about a thread length that was maybe 50, 75 stitches. They do pre-cut them pretty long for this kit. So that was kind of a nice way to give myself a set amount to work on to see if this was just going to be unpleasant to work on. So as of right now, I'm going to keep plugging away at it and see if I don't hate working on it, essentially. So that's where we're at. And eventually these ladies will have heads one day. So this is an empty area in the chart and just going on up. Because it has been so long since I've shown this, I'll see if I can find the cover picture for you. It's a Dimensions kit, and it's these kind of fancy ladies, kind of 50s looking. So I'm glad that I don't absolutely hate doing it, because it's a lot of work and I would hate to like just throw that all away, but if it was making me miserable, that is what I would do. So let's see. And I worked on that one. That was only one night's worth of stitching as well, so need to give it a little more time in the rotation. Next, okay, get this guy. Next would be Tonight We Ride. It's a refresher. That's it. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Okay. And then my stitching. Oh, I've got a bobbin. Okay. Oh yes, okay. So I promise I don't try to be dramatic, but I kind of am, no matter what. So last time I think I mentioned that I wanted to come down to like an empty area and start stitching on the house to try and get a fresh start in a kind of empty area that didn't have any stitching, and that went pretty well. So I did have a slight moment of worry because it is a little off, as I have said. So what I ended up doing was stitching out all the way to the far edge. Okay, I guess I can't lean back. To the far edge of the chart. And so this is the very rightmost border of the chart, and then I can start filling in. This is a bunch of like trees, and there's going to be some more bats and owls in the trees. It's going to be really cute. So I'm hoping that with a little bit of a fresh start in some uncharted territory, it'll be a little less bad. It still looks so good. Like, I gotta fix my tails, but like, I think it still looks really, really good. I love them. They're like out for a joyride. So that is Tonight We Ride from Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is a 16 count Ada from Bee Stitch Me in the color Pumpkin Patch. It's got this really great modeling towards the bottom, which I think will look super good as the background for like the village and the ground and everything. So just loving this. And it is already August. We are halfway through August, and I think, you know, obviously people release patterns ahead of time seasonally. It's just like, you know, we're already seeing fall and winter clothes coming out in the stores, so people are getting their patterns ready for fall, and I am so in the mood for some spoopy stitching, cozy fall vibes, pumpkin spice latte stitching, you know, all of that warm and cozy and stay inside loveliness. I think cozy life is best life, so I am here for it. As much as I hate the cold weather, I really do like autumn, so. And to be fair, it stays very warm in Georgia until December at least. I've had days on Christmas Day that I've worn shorts and a t-shirt. So I kind of get the best of both worlds, although probably should be concerned about global warming. But that's a whole weird and random tangent. So I'm going to bring it back in. Ready for the fall. Gonna get some cozy candles and some more fall decorations, and just living our best lives here. Okay, the next project would be, what is this? Okay. This one, I did get quite a lot of work on. For some reason I took it out of its hoop. I think I don't have enough hoops for all of my projects, so I've been sharing. This one, just love. Tiny Town. It's so cute. And look, we match. Okay. So I am now halfway. Fold. Yeah, but you can still see everything. So I'm halfway. Long-wise, at least. I still have to fill in quite a bunch. Going... Nope. Using my boyfriend's computer today, and things are inverted. This is going to be a little awkward. My laptop is very old, so it has been kind of grumpy with me. So, I'm halfway horizontally. I just need to fill in the buildings and background and everything going up. And then that will be halfway complete. And it's adorable, and I love it, and it's pink on pink on pink. It's just so cute. So that's my Luna P needle minder. I got it from Etsy, Grandma Girl Designs. I will try and find a link to her shop. I think she is still selling on Etsy. Yeah. I actually have gotten quite a lot done in the last 3 weeks. It's been a little in waves. There are plenty of days where I've done nothing but nap. But I believe this is going to be a post office, or post box, I should say. So I'm about here. There's that long kind of stitch. I have a little bit to fill in there. Do I not? No, I do have that filled in. Okay. I gotta do some of the words there. Did I miss it? And then this cute little house on the hill. And then this is halfway. So I adore this series from Heart and Hand. I think I've mentioned before, I love anything that has like a calendar, monthly, seasonal, spring, summer, winter, fall, anything like that. That just, I find it very satisfying. So I have a few more of these. I have at least one more of these from Heart and Hand, and they're really well written patterns. I am doing the DMC conversion. This is in, I think, Classic Colorworks and some weeks Dye Works, but I had like 99% of the DMC already, and that one of those is a floss dyer that I'm not going to purchase from, I don't think anytime soon. So I just already had all of the DMC anyway, so why bother? The fabric is a mystery 30 count linen in this soft pink color. This was a gift, kind of, sort of, from a Discord friend who has a crafty thrift shop near them. And she very kindly sent me that and some other fabric for one of my projects. And I absolutely adore it. I'm in a big fabric buying mood, but I have to be strong. But that is a really, really good project. I'm itching to get that out again soon. I just love pink. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. That it kind of collapsed. Right. And then this one, this was like my ride or die for a long time. And then when Arctic Animals came out, it got pushed aside. Maple Lane. It's just so cute. And again, the autumn, my basicness is just coming through. We get in the burr months and it's like involuntary. So many things sticking to magnets here. So just a second. And my hair. Okay. This is Maple Lane. And I have filled in more. I'm gonna move. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. I filled in more of this girl here and the barista here. So he's gonna be ready to serve up a cappuccino. And then some of the trees in the background. There's a lot of trees to fill in the background here. I'm sorry. And then, yeah, this is where I'm at. I got probably Maple Lane 200 stitches in. Maybe, yeah. No, I have done 72 stitches on this project since my last recording. And I think most of them were this guy and the tree. So I'm going to try and get to the top of the chart and do some fill-in. Should be good color blocking. So that is just, love it. Love Frosted Pumpkin. I'm a big fan. I will always fangirl for the Frosted Pumpkin. And that's Maple Lane. Look how cute. I'm just having a blast. Alright, so did I did. Okay. I've got my Notion pulled up on my laptop in front of me, so this might be a decent setup if I can get used to it. So next is Song of Nowruz. And I'm trying not to put any pressure on myself to, like, hurry up and finish anything, but I do feel kind of silly, like, this should be done fairly quickly. So there it is. Yeah, my lighting's a little blown out, but at least this is not backwards. Believe in spring, start again, bloom. I just love that. And I will say that every time I pull this pattern out, this chart project. So I have stitched on this, is that right? 1 day since the last video, and I did about 70, I did exactly 73 stitches. This is a paper pattern, so that could be wrong, but I'd say that's pretty close. This is a 16 count Ada from Witchold in the color Icelandic Gray. This is a fat quarter, so I could fit so much more in here. And this is one of my favorite neutrals. I do actually love gray. I think it goes with everything, especially pink. So I will probably buy this many times again in the future. So yeah, 16 count Ada, or Aida. The variegated is a Dying for Cross Stitch, color Cherry Blossom, which I thought was, I bought specifically for the spring pattern, kind of for the spring equinox, is as what Nowruz it typically falls on, if I understand correctly. That's when I started this pattern, at least. I did start it on the first day of spring, so that's why I chose Cherry Blossom, and because I love pink and gray. And my light's a little blown out, but I would like to show you how you can kind of see I have been experimenting with different ways of like working the variegated floss. So at first I did a loop start, it was held double, and did full crosses, you know, all the way across the chart for the most part. I did kind of like this arm, and then the center burb, and then this arm, and then kind of came in the middle. Now I'm doing, it's not held double and a loop start. I'm just tucking the tail in the back and securing it under my live stitches. And I think the effect is a lot better. I think it's a little smoother and less stripedy looking. And that's been a really fun kind of experiment to do. I think variegated flosses are really fun to work with because of that. And I think that might be my preferred way going forward. Really, really cute. So, and where is my head? This design is from Miriam from Marumi Designs. She is on Etsy and Flosstube. So I will link to her Etsy shop and places you can find her and her patterns. I do have another one of her patterns from my bird box that I would love to start soon. So definitely go check her out. She's lovely. Do I have anything else in here? No. Is there anything else? Yes. Okay. This is my last cross stitch pattern project that I worked on since last recording. Trying to not spend so much, but I think I do want to get some more nerd hoops and or bigger nerd hoops. Because I don't like taking them out of the projects of the hoops very much. But if you can't tell from this motif, this is the Freedom Motif Sampler from Shaded Stitchery. Nuri is the designer, and this is one of her, I think her second Juneteenth release pattern. I did start this on June 19th this year in 2024, and I worked on it on July 4th, and then a few days since then it fell into the rotation. So this center basket of watermelon and that cute little like sprout there, I don't know why I find that so adorable, but it's just adorable. And then these two side baskets, I do love a symmetrical pattern, very satisfying. And then this is going to be a whole lot of different shades of, 2 different shades of blue. I actually had to go buy more floss because I thought I had $5.97 and I can't find it. I think it's with Arctic Animals perhaps, but this is quite a lot in here, so I just wanted to make sure that I had enough. So yes, Freedom Motif Sampler from Shaded Stitchery. This is 16 count Aida from Witchelt in the color Latte. I really like this one. This is really soft, so that's very nice. And so I'll be interested to see how much of this. This is a fat quarter, so this should be pretty big. I think it should take up quite a lot of this. My needle minder is from Adam Hart Cross Stitch that came with a set of her heart bobbin floss drop thingies that match this sort of blue and green glittery speckly stuff. So really, I really am enjoying Nuri's patterns. Like there's something so like easy breezy about working on them that this is one of the least stressful projects I've worked on in a while, and maybe it's just because Pattern Keeper makes it so easy, or she's a brilliant designer on top of that, but it's a pleasure to work on. I try to be mindful of what this pattern represents and is all about when I work on it, and to reflect on things like my privilege and what Juneteenth is all about when I do work on it. And not just when I work on it, you know, all of the time, but especially this pattern. So it's a pretty meaningful pattern. I want to honor it and do it justice, and support Nuri. So she has great patterns, and she's really a rad designer. So I look forward to stitching many more of her projects, projects from Nuri. Yes. I think I've given all of the details. Let me see. 9.5%, so not great. There are about 8,000 stitches. This says I have 7,500 stitches left. So it is a little bigger. What is the dimensions? Does it say? 117 by 162. So it is big. She's a big girl. But I actually am really starting to love bigger projects because I like having a lot ahead of me. Like it's like how really wanting a show that's got a lot of seasons and episodes to work through, if that makes sense. So I am enjoying bigger projects these days. For me, bigger for me. I don't think I'll ever be a full coverage person, but I am drawn to a little more heftier projects now. That being said, that is all of my cross stitching. I'm gonna grab my knitting and figure out what I did with them. I only worked on 2 knitting projects in the past couple of weeks, but I'm really pleased with them. In my whip parade, I had mentioned that I had struggled with one of the patterns. Pull this guy out. That I really wanted to do. I had cast on the Fairy Snow Cap from Romy Hill on DPNs per the pattern, and it was tough. I really struggled. It was slow going, and I kept making mistakes, and I didn't know which way was up and front, and it was hard. So I restarted using Magic Loop. Turn it this way. So as you can see, it looks like the toe of the sock actually, but it's a top-down beanie, Fairy Snow Cap. It uses an umbilical cast on or pinhole cast on, disappearing loop cast on. I think they're all interchangeable. I don't know. They might be different techniques. I could be wrong, but I watched that video tutorial like 400 times. You just cast on 8 stitches, and I'm using Magic Loop on a very long cable, and I did get some new Chow-Goos to I find it easier to do pointier tips. So it's going so much better already. This amount of stitching on the DPNs, I don't think I even got this far, but this amount of stitching on the DPNs would have been about several days, several sessions of knitting. And now with Magic Loop, and I will say it did take me a couple of tries to get this far. There was a couple of restarts, but it's going much better now. I have a good handle on Magic Loop. I'm very pleased with myself and with how it's turning out. You can see some decreases. It looks kind of almost like a star, kind of, sort of. I think it'll be really cute. I really, really wanted to knit this hat in this yarn, this was some birthday yarn that I treated myself to a couple years ago. This is Amelie from Ilmani Yarns. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of like a tube. Can I show you? Not really. But it is the softest. It's cashmere and silk and like merino. I keep misplacing the labels. I don't know why it's not with the yarn. That's crazy. Next time I record, I need to make sure I have my Ravelry up. Anyway, it's just the color gray. It's so soft. I think it'll make a really warm hat. And like I said, I love gray. It goes with everything. It's beautiful and soft and rather fuzzy. I just think it will look precious. I will put a picture of the cover picture for the pattern so you can kind of get an idea what it's going to look like. I am really enjoying my knitting these days. I guess I'll give you an update while I blabber. I have had a few sessions of physical therapy for my shoulder. It's going pretty well. I am getting some work on both shoulders. I have been cleared to go back to yoga. I'm very pleased with that development. I was going a little crazy not being able to do that, so that is very good for my well-being and mental health. And since I am trying to cool it with the cross stitch, because that does seem to aggravate it, I'm knitting more. Well, sort of. I did only work on 2 things, but still. Okay. My last project is the Brigid hat. There is my progress keeper, front and center. I'm getting better at this, you guys. Although, this inversion. Ugh. I was here on the last episode, and I am all the way up to the body of the hat. This is the brim. I did some increasing, and I'm ready to start the cable sections, which make me very nervous. So slow and steady is the way forward. This is the way. The pattern is the Brigid hat from Ray Blackledge. It was a freebie from Ravelry. I am having a bit of a hard time finding more from and about this designer, but I'll do my best to link to the pattern and the designer that I can find. I don't think this was one I had to go to the Wayback Machine to get a copy of, but I'm really pleased. I have decided this was a pattern that kind of made me, or the project, I should say, that made me decide I need to start taking notes for my projects, my notes and my thoughts, especially for this channel, and like my Ravelry and everything. So I'm gonna get a notebook to, at least one. I know I have many around here, but a notebook to just kind of jot down my thoughts and comments, questions, and concerns, etc. for my projects. And that way I can do a really proper project post-mortem and kind of go over the whole thing. I think that will be a great idea for this channel. So last time I had mentioned that the Make One Purlwise on this had been giving me some problems. And I am pleased to say that that is no longer the case. I'm very comfortable doing them now. I think I'm really good at it now. I've watched the Very Pink Slow-Mo Make One Purlwise tutorial 11 million times. You're welcome, Stacy. And yeah, that really helped me be confident and secure knowing that I was doing them correctly. That Ilmani yarn has like thrown off some fluff. So yeah, I'm really stoked with that development. You know, I'm getting new skills here, and got the stitch definition of this yarn just looks great on this camera. So this yarn is from Plymouth Select. Merino DK Merino Superwash in the color Wisteria. 100% superwash fine merino wool. This yarn I really like. It's kind of bouncy. Like if you it's got a little bit of bounce when you pull on it. It's doesn't look like a regular 2-ply. Again, a kind of interesting construction. It gives the stitches just a little bit of squish. But I think, at least in this camera, it's got great stitch definition. Yeah, it's a little less blue in real life. A very true purple, kind of gemstone, jewel tone color. I do think I look good in purple, so I have a lot of purple yarn. So don't be surprised when you see more purple sweaters and whatnot. And that is everything I've worked on. I can't believe it, you guys. It feels like I actually didn't think it was as much as it is. But I've been really enjoying my time working on projects. The weather has improved immensely. It is no longer raining all day, every day. The sun has come back. My mental health is much better because of it. I don't need some extra vitamin D supplements now. When we get into the fall, I'll probably start doing that again. So yeah, it's been really nice, and I have been spending a little bit more time outside of the house, like hanging out at the pool and stuff. So that means I've been doing quite a bit of reading, actually. So let's talk about books, because I've actually read quite a bit. I finished 2 books, I guess 1.5, but I have completed 2 since the last video. Last time I mentioned that I was in the middle of One Dark Window from Rachel Gillig, and I finished it. I loved it so much. That's a 5-star read for me. My favorite, best read of the year so far. I haven't read that much this year, but this one was really, really good. And I had mentioned that I had some predictions about some things, and I'm pleased to announce that I was right. I was right. I correctly guessed the identity of one of the characters. There is still some mystery surrounding this person, but I was right about anything that has been revealed so far. I desperately want to pick up the sequel. The One Dark Window I had rented from Libby. I'm very strongly considering seeing if my used bookstore has it. It has a sequel, because it kind of ended on a cliffhanger. And it was so good. I was so frustrated that it ended where it did. I need to know what happens right now. I finished the book and I sent it back to Libby, and I just threw it on my tablet and went, ugh. You know, very exasperated. My boyfriend, David, goes, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Cliffhanger. It's a cliffhanger. I need the next book right now." And he just kind of rolled his eyes at me. But I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. Yeah, my favorite read of the year so far. After that, I had another hope from Libby come to me. That was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, or something like that. And I did enjoy that. That one was really cute. I found it jumped around a lot and was a little confusing. Like, I would swipe a page and be confused. Like, what happened? Where am I? Where are we? Why are we? Is this something wrong with this ebook? Why are we here? Like, it kind of jumped around. I don't know if that's an editing problem or a me problem. Not paying attention. I don't really know. But it was cute. I liked it a lot. It was, I guess if I'm going to use the Goodreads star rating, I'd give it like 3.5 star. It was good. Not great. I'll probably read the next book too. And then I had Jade City come into my bookshelf on Libby, and I'm like 30 pages in. I've only read a little bit of it. It is very long. I'm liking it so far. I don't know. It's kind of mafia-ish, magic-y-ish based. I'm not far enough in yet to tell my thoughts on it. I don't know if I'm in the mood for a Mafia-esque story, but we shall see. I know I'm not going to finish it before it has to go back because it overlapped with my whole me finishing Emily Wilde, and it is very long. It's something like 500 pages, and I don't think I can get that read in 10 days, knowing me. But I'm going to try. And I will report back on my thoughts and opinions on that and anything else that I might read. I really haven't been watching a lot of TV. I've been watching a good amount of YouTube. I've been watching all of Rachel Ray Craft's videos. And Knitting Nurse Jasmine just had a new podcast uploaded after a short break. They were moving, so they have a new podcast that I finished and enjoyed watching. And I've also been watching a lot of Rachel's knitting. I really enjoy her podcast. She's very relatable, and she's cute and fun, and she works on a lot of projects that I myself would consider working on, so liking her podcast a lot. And she also does some like educational, like how to use Ravelry sort of stuff. So those are really the 3 crafty podcasts I've been watching. I've also been watching a lot of like beauty stuff, but it's not a place for that in this episode or this channel really. So that is really it. The things I've been working on, the things I've been consuming, life updates. I think that is all I have for you today, friends. If you have enjoyed this video and if you've made it this far, if you would please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It would really help me out. I'd love to hear from you, and look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Hope you'll have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!